Well, the game takes place in London, like in the late 1800s, and it's a very dark kind of suspenseful game. Not necessarily scary, more like your mid-30s male protagonist is sacrificing a lot. It's the usual kind of heroic thing. And the developers wanted something that spoke more to him personally than to like the overall idea of like the game's plot or combat or mystery or suspense. And they didn't change a thing about anything I did for the score, which is one of the reasons I love it so much. This theme, I was like, I just love cello and viola. I dated a violist in college, and it's like never, my relationship with the viola has never been the same, in a good way. I just love it. And I love how it's, I don't love how it's so underused, especially in classical, it's always sitting there doing like the little, and the violins always get the melody. So there were two thoughts. Number one, how do I make the score have depth and weight to it, which was a word that the developer used a lot. And number two, how do I make it sound unique? Because they had also, I didn't know this at the time, but the Sony execs had, it was either Ramin or Henry, either Ramin Djawadi or Henry Jackman, were going to score it with a fairly like Game of Thrones kind of thing. And the developer was like, yeah, we kind of like our composer. So there was a lot of responsibility to walk the line between making it sound unique and have it be effective and recognizable, but not go so out there that you're like isolating the audience and not having it be commercially appealing. So the first thing I thought was, and the developer said, we don't want a normal like Hollywood score. I was like, well, what? When I think of Hollywood score, of course, you think of Hans Zimmer, so I'm like, okay, no horns. No horns at all. And actually, you know what? No brass. That'll make it sound interesting. How about no violins? Then you wouldn't... and no, like, flutes or anything like that. And then started weighting the orchestra more towards the lows. And I just pictured the setup on the stage. And it was like, go home, go home, go home. Bring friends, bring friends, bring friends. So, like, get rid of the high orchestra and have everything doubled. So we had, was it 12 cellos?
Yeah, 24 violas, 12 cellos.
Yeah. 6 basses.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, basses and cellos playing like 12 cellos, playing in octaves with the basses below that, going chugga-gum, chugga-gum, chugga.
Yeah, there was some action cues in this too.
It was amazing. But what it did was it opened up this space, both creatively, everything's basically 3-part writing. There's nothing complicated going on. But also harmonically, it's this open sort of breathing quality which allows all those low instruments to speak without it being muddy. There's no drum loops, there's no low brass in there. It works because it's so simple. The orchestration, I think, works because it's stripped down.